In today's rapidly changing financial world, the American middle class is facing more challenges than ever before. While costs are rising across the board, from housing to healthcare to education, the dream of financial stability is slipping further away. Once, earning a standard middle-class income offered comfort and security, but now, many families are struggling just to make ends meet. As the wealth gap continues to widen, the middle class finds itself squeezed between rising costs and stagnant incomes. It's no longer uncommon for families to live paycheck to paycheck. And when it comes to planning for the future, they're facing even greater hurdles. In fact, there are things that middle-class families may no longer be able to afford in less than a decade. Here's a look at some of those financial pressures and what could be out of reach in the years to come. 1. Retirement. Retirement is already a big challenge for many, but the numbers are getting even more concerning. A study by Go Banking Rates examined how much money people will need to retire comfortably in different states, and the findings were eye-opening. For example, in Florida, which is popular with retirees, the annual cost of living for retirement is about $8,390. That means you'd need around $736,000 for 20 years of retirement. In other states, the numbers are similarly high. California, for example, will cost you about $78,400 annually. But with inflation, a volatile stock market, and increasing living costs, many middle-class families could find themselves relying more on Social Security, which has its own long-term funding challenges. 2. Private education. For many middle-class families, private education for their children has been a way to ensure a better education. But with private school tuition on the rise, this is becoming less attainable. Private schooling, once a viable option, may soon be reserved only for the wealthy, as the costs continue to grow. Even extracurricular activities and tutoring services, once considered a necessity for a well-rounded education, are increasingly being sacrificed due to tighter budgets. 3. High-speed internet and premium streaming services. In our increasingly digital world, high-speed internet is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. But the combined costs of internet service and multiple streaming platforms could soon become a serious financial burden. What used to be a single cable subscription is now spread across several services, each with its own monthly fee. As prices rise, families might struggle to keep up with the costs of staying digitally connected, especially with the rise of remote work and learning, where access to reliable internet is essential. 4. Personal fitness and wellness services. Health and wellness are more important than ever, but the costs of maintaining a healthy lifestyle are also climbing. Personalized fitness programs, boutique classes, and consultations with dietitians or personal trainers are becoming out of reach for many middle-class families. This trend could lead to higher healthcare costs later in life, as skipping fitness routines now may result in preventable health issues down the road. 5. Specialized medical treatments. Advancements in medical science are incredible, but they come with a hefty price tag. Treatments for serious conditions, like cancer or rare diseases, are becoming more sophisticated and expensive. Even with insurance, many middle-class families are left with significant out-of-pocket costs. Specialized care and long-term care, such as nursing homes or home care services, are seeing their prices soar, making it harder for families to afford these services. 6. Organic and specialty foods. As the demand for healthier and more sustainable foods rises, so do their prices. Organic produce and specialty foods are often priced significantly higher than conventional options, and with food prices continuing to climb, these healthy choices could soon become a luxury many families can no longer afford. This could lead to compromises on nutrition and quality as families are forced to choose cheaper alternatives. 7. New technology gadgets. Technology is evolving at an incredible rate, with new gadgets like smartphones, laptops, and smart home devices being released regularly. But keeping up with the latest tech trends comes at a high cost. Many middle-class families are already struggling to stay updated, and as prices increase, staying up to date with the latest devices may soon become an impossible luxury. 8. Eco-friendly home upgrades. Sustainability is a growing concern, and eco-friendly home upgrades, like solar panels and energy-efficient appliances, are becoming more popular. However, the upfront costs for these improvements are high. Without significant cost reductions or government incentives, these green upgrades could soon be out of reach for middle-class families, creating a divide where only the wealthy can afford to live sustainably. 9. Comprehensive insurance plans. Insurance is a safety net for families, but the rising costs of comprehensive coverage are making it harder to afford. If premiums continue to escalate, families may be forced to choose between being underinsured or opting for plans with limited coverage. This could leave many families vulnerable in the event of an emergency, further eroding their financial stability. 10. Home ownership. Home ownership has long been a symbol of financial success in America, but with skyrocketing real estate prices, it's becoming increasingly out of reach for the middle class. In urban areas, where demand far exceeds supply, owning property is a dream many families can no longer afford. With stagnant wages and rising home prices, renting may soon become the only option, leaving families without the long-term financial benefits of homeownership. The middle class has always been a vital part of the American economy, but financial pressures are mounting. From retirement and education to healthcare and housing, the things that once defined middle-class stability are slipping away. If current trends continue, the next decade could bring even more challenges for families trying to navigate this shifting landscape. But it's not all hopeless. Middle-class families can still take steps to manage these challenges by focusing on proactive financial planning, reducing unnecessary expenses, and advocating for policies that support economic equity. While the future may be uncertain, being aware of these changes is the first step toward staying financially secure in an ever-changing world.